Good morning, and welcome to sunny but chilly Three Oaks, Michigan, and another episode of What's Up with Richard. Today we're going to do something a little different. We're going to take a look at some of the movie sites, filming locations of the movie Prancer. So, I think it's time to get started. In one of the earlier scenes, after a Christmas pageant, Jessica and her friend Carol witnessed Santa's reindeer fall. And was damaged beyond repair. Jessica knows it's Prancer from the poem A Visit from St. Nicholas. Remember, Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen. The third one to fall was Prancer. Now, a little bit later in the movie, in another scene, Jessica and Carol are seen sledding by Mrs. McFarland's house. She's a recluse widower. Jessica ends up sledding through her garden and escaping under her fence. Take a look at this picture. And Mrs. McFarland's house as it is today. This is Mrs. McFarland's house. That would have been the door where Cloris Leachman came out and talked to Jessica. The wrought iron fence is no longer there. It is in the Italianate architecture, built in 1860. In the next scene, we find out that Jessica's dad, John, is a struggling fruit farmer and a widower. Jessica really misses her mom. And this is the farm as it was seen in the movie, and what it looks like now. Now, I couldn't get any closer because this is a private residence, and you can see it's a little bit overgrown in front of the house, but it's the barn that plays a prominent part in the movie. I've arrived at the filming location of the home of Jessica, her father and brother. It is in really a remote area, absolutely beautiful in the fall. And there's the barn that plays a very important role in the movie, because that's where Jessica found Prancer, saw that he was injured, and went looking for help. And that's my next stop, where Jessica found the vet, Doc Benson. Now that Prancer's been moved to a more secure and remote barn, she skipped school to find the vet, Doc Benton, who was tired, sore. He's been up all night. He has a sick wife to tend to. But somehow she convinces him it's an emergency. Now, I really couldn't film the exact location. I'm in the area, but it's by the red vehicle in the back. That white building that you see is in the background of the movie. The filming location where Jessica was looking for Dr. Benson. Fast forwarding a little bit, Jessica has seen a reindeer, had a nightmare, woke up, hearing noise outside, found Prancer, injured in the barn. Knowing that her father would not appreciate this animal in his barn, she moved him. At this point in the movie, this is also where Jessica goes back to Mrs. McFarland's house and does the apologizing. And nursing the reindeer back to health, she needs to let the real Santa Claus know where Prancer is at. So she visits the mall Santa Claus with a picture of Prancer and a note. I've made it to the former site of the Maple Lane Mall, and like all malls, it's fallen on hard times. This is the site, though, where Jessica would have gone in to see the mall Santa Claus. Now, the mall Santa takes the picture and the note to the newspaper editor, who's struggling with all the troubling news. And he uses it as a human interest story. And news of Prancer spreads. And this is the exterior of the church as it appears today. That would have been the spot where Jessica was greeted by the pastor, having no clue what was going to happen next. As you see, the downtown has been redone since then, and there is a street light there. And of course, the newspaper box is no longer there. And this would have been the area inside the church where Jessica was sitting on that day with her friend Carol behind her. And she's trying to signal Carol, "You have a big mouth," because she figured everybody in town knew because Carol blabbed. And this is the seat where Mrs. McFarland came in, and the young man shared his candle with her. At church, the pastor lets the so-called cat out of the bag. And this is the first time Jessica finds out that everybody in town knows what's going on. So, meanwhile, back at the farm, John was having his own problems as he discovered his horse and cow have escaped from the barn, thanks to Prancer. And townsfolk are driving in to see Prancer. This is when John, played by Sam Elliott, sees Prancer trashing the inside of the house, gets his gun and threatens to shoot Prancer. However, the butcher, Mr. Dryer, intervenes and buys Prancer for a couple $100 and eventually cages him as a sales gimmick at his Christmas tree lot. Now, seeing all this happen to Prancer and seeing Prancer caged and not really feeling wanted at home, Jessica decides to free Prancer and run away. And that's where we're headed next, to Mr. Dryer's Christmas tree lot. And I'm standing in the spot where Jessica and her brother would have tried to free Prancer from his cage after Jessica pries the roof off and implores Prancer to fly, and Prancer wouldn't. She becomes very discouraged. But just at that time, the police officer came and they had to hide. She goes up higher into the tree, and inadvertently she falls to the ground and is seriously injured in the fall. What happened next in the movie? I think it's time to watch Prancer, because I could never do justice to the end of that movie. And as always, thank you for watching What's Up with Richard.